Hello and welcome to episode 2 of You, Me, and Muse. Teacher Sam here. Today, I'd love to start this episode by thanking all of you for supporting my decision to dedicate myself more to this YouTube channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It means a lot to me. By the way, if you're able to, grab a pen and a notebook so you can write down the words I'll teach you in today's video. As I mentioned in my very first video, my vision for this channel is to share news and trending topics explained in simple English to help you understand it all. I promise you that by the end of today's video, you'll have a very clear idea of what I'm aiming for with this channel and what to expect pretty much in each episode. If you have followed me on social media for a while, you know that I live in Los Angeles, California. So when it comes to news and trending topics, I have to dedicate today's episode to the wildfires that have been devastating parts of Southern California. Here's a quick tip. Pay attention to how I pronounce the word Southern. Try your best to pronounce it like I do, Southern. By the way, I'll include a phonetic guide here in the video to help you with your pronunciation. Please remember, all the phonetics I use in my videos have been created by me. So far, my students seem to really like them and are learning a lot. Here's what I recommend. When I share a phonetic with you, pause the video, grab your notebook, and write it down. So, one more time. Here, Southern. Southern. As I mentioned earlier, these wildfires have been destroying parts of Southern California. You may have seen images like this one on the news or images like this one on the news. Thankfully, the area where I live hasn't been affected, but I have to say, I've lived in California for over 20 years, and I've never seen anything like this. To be honest, when I watch the news and see the devastating results of these fires, it still feels surreal to me. Notice the adjective surreal here. When something is surreal, it feels unreal. You can't believe it's actually happening. In Portuguese, the word is surreal. In Spanish, it's also surreal. Take a moment to write this word down, surreal. Also, pay attention to how I pronounce it, surreal. Right? So, one place severely affected by these fires is a beautiful area here in California called Pacific Palisades. To me, this area is like the gem of California. The word gem literally means a shiny, valuable stone like a diamond. So when I say Pacific Palisades is like the gem of California, I mean it's a very special and beautiful place. It's near the ocean, the houses are gorgeous, the nature is stunning. It's like a dream. Let me show you a few images of Pacific Palisades before the wildfires. I mean, look at this. Isn't it stunning? By the way, stunning means beautiful or gorgeous. Now, let me show you what it looks like after the wildfires. My gosh, look at this. Everything is in ruins. When I say everything is in ruins, I mean it's broken, destroyed, or badly damaged. Nothing is in good condition anymore. It's hard to believe this is the same place. Let's look at those same images again. Obviously, you'll agree with me that everything is in ruins. It's important to remember that Pacific Palisades isn't the only area affected. Places like Altadena, Pasadena, North Hollywood, and Santa Monica were impacted too. Now, we're all asking the same question. How did this happen? How did these fires start? According to an AP News Online article, so far, there has been no official indication of arson in either fire, and utility lines have not yet been identified as a cause either. Let's pause here. Did you notice I said according to? Why did I use this phrase? It's because I'm sharing information that isn't mine. I'm telling you where I got this information. I got it from an AP News Online article, which is why I said according to the AP News Online article. Let me give you one more example here. If your name is John and you tell me, hey teacher, it's going to rain tomorrow, I can say, well, everyone, according to John, it's going to rain tomorrow. See? Next time you watch the news in English, listen for this phrase, according to. I promise you, it's used a lot. But let's get back to the article. What does arson mean? Arson is when someone starts a fire on purpose to damage something like a building or property. Obviously, it's illegal. So if a person starts a fire intentionally, it's called arson. The article also says no utility lines have yet been identified as a cause. What are utility lines? Let me show you. This is a utility line. This is also a utility line. Basically, a utility line is a cable or pipe that carries important services like electricity, water, gas, or internet to homes and buildings. Utility lines can cause fires if they break or fall. Sparks from the lines can ignite dry grass or trees and start a fire. Again, according to this article, there's no evidence of arson or broken utility lines causing the fires. By the way, this video is being recorded on Friday, January 17th, 2025. New information may come out soon, but for now, this is what's been reported. Everyone wants to know, what ignited the deadly wildfires in California? The verb ignite means to start something, like a fire. So now, if it wasn't arson or utility lines, then what caused the fires? Living in Southern California, I can tell you it's an extremely dry state. We don't get much rain, and we have strong, dry winds called the Santa Ana winds. Many people believe these winds, combined with drought, made the wildfires worse. The Santa Ana winds are very strong and dry. They spread fires quickly, making it harder for firefighters to control them. Drought means there hasn't been enough of rain for a long time. So the land and plants are very dry. That's right. Dry plants catch fire easily. Let me show you an image here Look at this image. This is what we mean when we say drought. Together, the winds and drought created perfect conditions for the wildfires to spread. Once the fire started, embers spread quickly, causing other houses to catch fire. Now, what are embers? Embers are small, glowing pieces of wood or coal from a fire. In fact, if you have a fireplace, you've probably seen embers before. Here is a picture of embers. And now I'll play a short clip. Listen for the words embers.
Embers like this are transported in the smoke column and
something
pushed
as big
downwind
as this?
or bigger.
So this is being blown by the winds way
Thousands
beyond
and thousands of burning embers this size and bigger being transported by that wind and that smoke column.
This situation was extremely dangerous, and people in the affected areas were asked to evacuate. Notice how I am pronouncing this verb, to evacuate. I'll leave this phonetic for you here so that you can see it and write it down. By the way, to evacuate means to leave a place quickly because it is not safe. When people are asked to evacuate, they need to move to a safer area to avoid danger. So this situation was extremely dangerous, and people in the affected areas were asked to evacuate. In fact, according to CBS News, since the start of the wildfires in Los Angeles on January 7th, 2025, over 200,000 residents have been ordered to evacuate their homes. And as of January 16, 2025, the wildfires in Los Angeles County have destroyed over 12,300 structures, including thousands of homes. And here's the saddest part. As of January 16, 2025, the wildfires in Los Angeles County have resulted in at least 27 fatalities. Let me also leave the phonetic for the pronunciation of the word fatalities. Here, fatalities. Fatalities means deaths. When we say there are fatalities, it means that people have died. So as of January 16, 2025, the wildfires in Los Angeles County have resulted in at least 27 fatalities, 27 deaths. At this point of this episode, we can all agree that what has happened in Southern California due to the wildfire is beyond sad. But I should also say that these wildfires have brought with them a lot of controversy toward the politicians in Southern California. By the way, controversy, new word, write it down, means that people have very different opinions about something and they argue or disagree a lot about it. Let me also teach you the adjective controversial. The way that the politicians in California have dealt with this wildfire disaster is very controversial, and many California residents are outraged. In other words, many California residents are very mad about this situation. By the way, are you writing these words down? All these words that I am teaching you here? Well, you better be. After all, you are here to improve your English, aren't you? Now, let me show you a picture here. This is Gavin Newsom. He is the governor of California. Speaking of governor, did you know that Arnold Schwarzenegger was the 38th governor of California? Yes, he served as governor from 2003 to 2011. Trust me, I am not trying to change the subject here all of a sudden, but since I mentioned the words California governor, I thought I'd also share with you that Arnold Schwarzenegger, who wasn't born in the US and who speaks English with an accent, managed to become the governor of California, not once, but twice. Honestly, I think that's super inspiring. He wasn't born here. English is not his first language. Still, he managed to become the governor of California. So use that as motivation. Now, let me get back to Gavin Newsom. So this is Gavin Newsom. He is the current governor of California. Right now, many Californians are super mad at him because they feel like he hasn't handled the fires correctly. Many people feel like he should have done more. In fact, let me show you a clip here from when Gavin was confronted by a California resident about the fires.
Then Rachel spots a face she recognizes.
Is that Gavin Newsom? That's the governor. That's the governor. Governor, I live here, governor. That was my daughter's school, governor. Please tell me what you're going to do. I'm not going to hurt him, I promise.
I'm literally talking to the president right now to specifically answer the question of what we can do for you and your daughter.
Can I hear it? Can I hear your call? Because I don't believe it.
From this clip, you can clearly see that the woman is upset. It's as if she is desperately looking for answers. Also, let me show you one more clip here because there is a lot of controversy around Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, who was in Ghana while the fires were burning. Watch this clip because in it, you'll see how many questions the reporters had for Karen when she arrived to the airport in Los Angeles. Keep in mind, please, she was in Ghana, Africa, while the fires in Southern California were happening. So the clip that I want to show you here is when she arrives from Ghana at the LAX airport here in Los Angeles.
Fire chiefs say that they're really stretched to the limit and running out of water. What have you got to say to that?
Touching me, okay?
Have you no response to that? Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today?
Can you back up, boss? Appreciate it.
Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today?
So, as you could see, many questions indeed, but no answers from her. Literally crickets. Write down this expression, you guys. Crickets. Why? Because it's an expression we use when we want to say that someone is silent, that someone hasn't said anything. So, what did Karen Bass say when she got to the airport? She said nothing. Crickets. But I am sure that you want to know why so many residents of California are mad at Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass. Because imagine this, please. Imagine this just for 1 second. We now know for a fact that Mayor Karen Bass approved a $17.6 million budget cut for the Los Angeles Fire Department. By the way, what is a budget cut? A budget cut is when a person, a company, or the government decides to spend less money than before. So they cut down how much money they can use for certain things. In fact, according to ABC7, and I quote, in May 2024, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass approved a budget for the 2024-2025 fiscal year that reduced the Los Angeles Fire Department's funding by approximately $17.6 million compared to the previous year. The fire chief, Kristen Crowley, expressed concerns in December 24, stating that these cuts had severely limited the department's capacity to prepare for, train for, and respond to large-scale emergencies, including wildfires. So, why is this budget cut so bad for the LA Fire Department? Because it means that the fire department in Los Angeles has less money to do its job. This can lead to fewer firefighters, less equipment, or not enough resources to fight fires quickly and safely. It makes it harder for them to protect people and stop fires, especially in a city like Los Angeles where fires happen often. Do you see now why she's choosing to stay quiet? Crickets. I honestly think it's because she knows she's in trouble. She understands now that it was a really, really bad idea to cut the fire department's budget by $17.6 million, especially when she knows how dry Southern California is and how common fires are here. In fact, many people in Los Angeles are calling for the recall of Mayor Karen Bass due to the dissatisfaction with her handling of the recent wildfires. A petition on change.org demanding her resignation has gathered over 125,000 signatures. Many people in Los Angeles want Mayor Karen Bass removed from her job because they're super unhappy with how she handled the recent wildfires. So, a petition on change.org asking her to quit has already gotten over 125,000 signatures. Do you understand now why the subject of these wildfires has become so political and so controversial? Okay, so we are now getting close to the end of our second episode of You, Me, and News. So far, this is the list of words that I have here in front of me. That list of new words that I have taught you in this video. Let me go over them here real quick. Pay attention now. Southern, surreal, gem, everything is in ruins, according to, arson, utility lines to ignite, drought, embers, evacuate, fatalities, controversy, outraged, governor, mayor, crickets, budget cuts, and recall. I hope you've written down all those words. I hope I've taught you something new in this video. Feel free to watch the video again and see if you can understand it better this time. In fact, I encourage you to watch the video again and again and again. And I can almost promise you that you will understand it better this time. Besides, if you are serious about learning English, you must understand that practice makes perfect. In other words, the more you practice, the more you'll know. And finally, I want to know, what's your take on the wildfires in Southern California? Teacher, what do you mean when you say, what's your take? I mean, what is your opinion on the subject? Please share with me in the comments below. What's your take on this topic? What surprised you the most? Talk to me here, please. Let's keep on learning English together. I will be back next Wednesday with another episode of You, Me, and News. In the meantime, support the channel. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and I'll see you back next Wednesday. Bye for now.